Hey guys, this is the second video in the series of me trying to build a desk Casemod project. Um, as a reminder, I am not really a professional woodworker or anything. This is my first time trying something like this, so it's not going to be completely perfect. I have most of the woodworking part of the job done. I have the frame ready, I have the support for the legs ready. I just need to order the glass and wait for a couple of other parts to do. I need an extension for the audio from the motherboard to the I/O I'll have, and I need a support for the I/O itself with USB jacks and audio jack, all that sort of stuff for easier access. And that support will also support the CD drive. So I need that, I need a cable for the audio, and I am pretty much set, other than ordering the glass, of course. So without further ado, I'll let you guys see how far along I am. I don't really have a GoPro or any sort of handy to record camera, so I could not really take a video of me while building it. So a short explanation will have to do, I suppose. And I'll let you see the progress itself, and I'll try to explain how it got this far. So this is the progress right now. It's not a very big attic that I have to work with, so the angles to film will be a bit weird. Anyway, I have most of the woodwork done, except for that side panel there. I'm waiting for another piece to arrive, a support for a CD bay and a 325-inch bay as well for the I/O with the USB and the audio jacks. So I don't have the exact measurements yet, so I cannot quite cut the hole in the wood yet, otherwise it might be too small, too big, you name it. And I just don't, and then it will be glued, and I can't really get it out of there, so that might be a problem if it doesn't fit perfectly, so I'll have to wait with that. Anyway, this is pretty much done as far as the woodworking part of the project is concerned. I had to use a few tools, obviously, a jigsaw as you see, normal screwdriver, stuff like that, a drill. I had to get these drill bits to drill the slightly bigger holes that I will need. I haven't drilled them yet for the power button, for the USB cable, for the keyboard and mouse cables to go through on that side. Also here, for one somewhere here for the HDMI cable for the GPU that will stand around this area, and one in the back there for the PSU cables. But yeah, as you can see, it's mostly done. This area here will be a keyboard area, keyboard, mouse, so on and so forth. I will add a small profile along the side here, so that the glass will sit on the rest and will not, slide out and all that. I had to cut a few holes, as you see, for the fans. This will be 2x 14 cm exhaust. On that side I will have a radiator with a 3x 12 cm fan, so the 360 radiator. And here at the front I will have the 3x 14 cm intake fans as well. It is not completely straight, as you see. Then again, it doesn't matter too much because the fans will be on top of it, so it won't be visible. But yeah, how I had to do it is I had to cut the holes with the bit I showed you before. Had to cut holes in the corners and then go along the edge with the jigsaw. It did not come out completely perfect, but then again, it doesn't matter, it won't be visible. I already checked that the fans fit the holes that I drilled. Thankfully I did not drill it too wide or anything of the sort. I also made this small support that will be for the radiator to stand a bit in place of standing flat on the table, and it would blow the air up into the, basically into the glass, and to just not add a lot of air movement. To have a bit better airflow, I will have the radiator stand skewed like this at an angle so that hopefully what I'm hoping to achieve in terms of airflow is that the air will come in through the intake. This radiator will blow it slightly to this side and out through the exhaust, and I have more intake than exhaust for sure, as you can see, so hopefully that will help keep the desk a bit clean in terms of blowing air out in place of sucking dusty, hairy air in. As far as the woodworking goes, it was kind of straightforward. Thankfully all the pieces matched, there were no cutting mistakes as far as the woodworking goes. I just used wood glue to hopefully keep it all together. Had to use a few clamps to make sure that the glue sticks. It was a lot of measuring, as you can see. There's like still leftover traces of the guidelines everywhere. And I had to use these to make sure that it's all at the right angle as far as the boards go in relation to the bottom of the desk. So yeah, as far as the woodworking goes, pretty much done. Just had to wait to that part that's out of stock actually, sadly. Could take a week or two. And then I can put the last panel in, can paint it, and then I can start the slightly more annoying, on the other hand less difficult process of marking the stand-ups for the motherboard, marking exactly where everything goes, drill a few holes for the support, screws, you name it, HDD, SSD somewhere on this side. This will be where that CD and I/O will be that I mentioned, I think the support for. I have not decided yet if I'll have a hole around here or here at the front for power button. There will be a hole there in the corner for the cables for the keyboard, as I said, and mouse, and I will add, like I said, a small edge here, just a couple of millimeters, and all around the edge to keep the glass mostly in place. I will add also a small profile on the inside of the desk, so that I can hopefully hide a few cables there if I want to, and also to install later on a few LED strips, but that will have to wait a little bit. I just want to get the base done, the base desk so to speak, make sure it's working all correctly, and then I can just easily add some LED strips afterwards. And yeah, have to look for Aura compatible, because that's what I'm going to build my system around, the Aura Sync software from Asus, which is an issue, slightly an issue because I don't have an Asus motherboard, but when I do upgrade I will go for that, and hopefully that will be a nice light show as well. Also, when this board is in place, I will be able to finally order the glass, which will also take about 2 to 3 weeks to be completed. So yeah, it's not going to be done tomorrow, that's for sure. Another issue that I might have is I hope, really hope, that the paint takes to the metal, because it's galvanized metal, slightly greasy. I already have been trying to degrease it as much as I can, but I hope that it will stick properly, so we'll see about that. Also, to help with getting the board stuck in place properly, I have used some of these little corner supports. I am not intending to keep them, mind you, but or perhaps I will, I have not decided yet, but in the meantime I have put them in places where the little screw holes will not be visible, like here and here. There will be a board coming here, there will be the glass coming here, and you are going to be sitting on this side anyway, so you're not going to see it. That one there will be behind the PSU. For the middle boards, I did it like here, for example. Now the other board comes on top, so you don't see it anymore. Another one in this corner, just to help the wood glue set better, and so that it's not going to be too loose in there. Now, as far as the components go, this is, let's say, the inventory room. This is the radiator. I already leak tested it, it seemed to be fine, so I'll just have to install that afterwards. I made sure it's compatible with my 1150 socket as well as with the 1151 that I plan to upgrade to in the future. I went with ring fans from Thermaltake, just like the other fans that I got that I also have there on the side. I also have a few motherboard standoffs, not plastic, nylon ones, so there won't be any short circuit issues. I'll probably also use them to support the graphics card a bit. Dust filters. This is the grill that's going to go on front. I actually had some trouble finding one for because I'll show you. Because I wanted it to have the screws for the fans and also another screw to fix to the desk. And I actually had some trouble finding them because most of them only had screws for the fans. But I did manage to find this one, although the screw hole for the middle fans are slightly smaller than they should and the screws barely fit, so I might have to fiddle with that. Otherwise I'm going to have an issue fixating the middle fan. Anyway, this is the grill that I will be using at the front. Further along, PCIe riser cable that I got from Lee. I actually emailed them and they sold me directly this one because I could not find it for sale. It's a 38cm version. It's one of the best out there as far as I could research. So it was definitely a good option. It actually came cheap, all things considered, since it was directly from the manufacturer. Further along, a few extension cables for the fans, because the exhaust fans and all, it will be far away from the controller. So I need extensions for that. This is the power button. It's a blue LED light thingy. As I said, I'm not sure yet where I'll install it. Had to wire it myself, which was a bit scary, because if you wire one wire wrong, the LED just blows and the button is dead. Well, it works, but no LED, so yeah, it's a bit annoying. Now, these are the ring fans, the 14cm version for the intake and the exhaust. For the more extension cables, SATA cables, audio cables, you name it. This here is the I/O that I ordered with audio jacks and USB ports that I'll need to put on the side. It's the hole that I still need to cut, along with the CD drive that is currently in my current PC. I did have an issue that it comes with 2x2 USB 3.0 and my board only has one USB 3.0 header. So I also had to get an adapter from USB 2.0 to USB 3.0. So yeah, in the future when I upgrade my board, if it has two headers, I can just use the normal USB 3.0, but for now I'll have to use half 3.0, half 2.0, but well, that's perfectly fine. It's what I have right now anyway. And it does not make a difference as far as keyboards and mouses and whatever goes. They don't mind the speed difference. So yeah, this is basically the inventory for now. Just need to get that last part, solder that last panel, and I'm good to go. Hopefully it won't take too long. I also tested the AIO cooler for leaks, which basically is having it running for a few hours while not plugged in to the CPU itself or inside the case in case it leaks and then you have a short circuit. So yeah, I let it run for a while. There was no problem with it, also no air bubbles, which would make it be quite noisy. So everything was fine in that aspect. As a side note, if you do ever go for an AIO cooler like this one or similar, make sure that the hoses going from the radiator to the pump are actually of a decent size, because this is going to be quite tight. It's going to be
just enough and barely enough for the distance that I'll have between my la, 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 between my fan holes and the actual CPU. This is me trying out the new fans, just going through the presets. I'll let you guys see all the different options. Obviously you can customize it more, but this is the basic settings.
So yeah, that's about it. I hope that the missing parts arrive soon so I can finally finish this project. Even when they do arrive, it will probably still be a month and a half, because ordering the glass itself takes 3 weeks-ish for the glass to be ready and delivered, plus finishing touches, plus putting it together, plus well, the time that I actually have to wait for the parts to arrive. The support is not in stock at any stores that I found it, which it was only one store that I found it at. And it might take another week for it to be in stock, so that's going to be a week, another few days for it to actually get here, then cutting the last panel, putting it up, measuring the table and ordering the glass. So yeah, that's going probably to be another month and a half at least, plus painting it, plus all that stuff. Still have small things that I can do while I wait. I can try to find a template for the motherboard standoffs where I have to drill them and put them already in. I can already put up the supports for the HDD. It's just going to be a little metal L bracket like I showed in the other video. Supports for the PSU supports, well, something to fixate the PSU in place. It will also probably be one of those L brackets. I can put that stuff already all up. I can clean up most of the sawdust already. So yeah, that's the small things that I can do to get stuff ready and save some time for when the real work can continue again. I'll see what I can do about that. So yeah, I'm a bit stuck right now. I'll see what I can do about putting up those holes, like the motherboard holes and the PSU hole and all that stuff. But yeah, there were some problems. There were things that went pretty okay. All in all, 2 weeks-ish for it to get to this stage. Since I started until now, it's not too bad. Kinda happy with it. I'll just try to do what I can while I have to wait for the parts. And when I have some visible progress again, I'll make another video. I'll let you guys see how it's going, and until then, well, have fun and stay tuned.